Alright, number 5, I'm going to use the full screen in my math lab because we actually don't have to write anything down here. We just have to match up each of these graphs with its proper name. Alright, you want to use the textbook here because the graphs have different names. Different texts will call them different names. The graph that I give you in my math lab does not match the names given here, and I'll show you here in just a moment. But if you go here to the text and we go over a few pages, I think like 2 or 3 pages, you'll begin to see those graphs on the left side of the page right here. So this is a constant function. It's a linear function, but they call it constant. This one is also linear. They call it identity, y equals f of x. Now let me show you the difference. So this linear, they call it linear, parent function is called linear. I don't know if we have a constant function. Yeah, they call it constant. So that one actually did match. But let's look at the quadratic. We call it quadratic here, and over here they call it the square function because of x squared. So it has different names, but all in all it's about the same. So you want to use your textbook and it'll help you to see. Now there's one page here. If you go next, you have another page of functions. Okay. And so you're going to have to go back and forth and match them up. Absolute value, reciprocal function, cube root. They show you the equation as well. Give you description, square root, cube function. Alright, so you're going to be using those to match up these names. So this one is a quadratic, or they call it square function in your text. You drag it. As you see that box, when it highlights or gets a shading around it, that's how you can drop it. Okay. This one was the absolute value. This one was the reciprocal function. This was the constant function. Then we have identity, which is just a linear function. Cube function. This one here. Cube root here, and then we have square root function. So you just match them up, drag and drop. Okay. All right, number 6 wants us to graph the function, so you can pull this again from the previous problem where we had to match up the graph. You can also refer to problem number 1 where I showed you can graph it in the calculator. You can make a table of points and graph it by hand, and you got those options there. So if you remember, this is the cube root function, which matches option B, or the second choice.